Okay, so today we are starting on inequalities. Now, inequalities, it's similar to equations in how you solve it, except for instead of an equal sign, you're now applying the less than, the greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Okay, so we're not going to have equal sign. And the definition of inequality is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, any of those. And what it is it's a number sentence that compares. So rather saying this is equal to it, you're comparing two things. Okay, some of the key signs when you read is less than or equal to, is at most or is no more than, is no less than, is at least, and then the or equal to. Okay, those are some key words that tell you, hey, this is going to have the line underneath it. Because if you look, the only difference between these two are the line underneath it. And that line, if you notice, it's up here, it says it can be that or equal to. So that line is like half of an equal sign. Okay, so that line symbols equal, which means it can be equal to. That's literally what that line means, is half an equal sign. Okay? Now, when you're doing this, you always, I cannot stress that enough, you always read the variable first. Always read the variable first. Okay, and then if you notice, when we are graphing, you have two different types of circles. An open circle is going to be less than or greater than. Okay, and it means it's not part of the solution. And then a closed circle is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and it is part of the solution. And this has to do with graphing. Okay, that's the purpose of these, are for graphing. And so up here, this would be an open circle. This would be an open circle. This would be a closed circle. And this would be a closed circle. Let's do that in a different color. Open, open, closed, closed. Okay? And that means the solution is included and the solution is not included. I'm going to give you multiple examples, but refer back to these when you're on your own. Okay, so for example, write as an inequality. So it gives you a sentence and you have to write it out. So remember, you always read the variable first. So the variable is t. So I'm going to write that down very first, because it helps you to know what you're dealing with. Okay, and then it says a number t is less than, I want you to underline the term and circle the number. Okay. A number t is less than, so less than has this sign. Oh, you can't see it. Less than has this sign. Less than. Or equal to. Or equal to, which means you have the line underneath it. to 5. Okay, and then to graph it, you're going to have a number line with 0. Always when you draw your number line, add 0. And then you're going to have 5. Positive 5. Okay, now when you are graphing this, look at this sign and tell me, is it an open or closed circle? In this case, it is a closed circle. And so you are going to have a closed circle. Okay? And then the number is less than 5. Okay, so if it's less than, what number is 0 less than 5? Yes. So it's going to go towards 0. And this isn't always true, but a lot of the times, if you were to draw a line, it will tell you which way that arrow points. Not always true, but a lot of the times. Okay? Now, the second one, a number g, read the variable first, g, subtracted, that's an operation, from 6. So a number g subtracted from 6, so it's going to be 6 minus g, is more than 0.75. So is more than is right here, so it's this sign, 0.75. Okay, so in this case, we are just writing the inequality. Okay, we're not going to graph this one yet because you have to know how to solve it first. 2. Tell whether the given value is a solution to the inequality. So you have to know, is this a solution? Okay, so this is like when we check our solutions on equations, we're doing the same thing. So r equals 8. So you're going to go and plug that in for r. 8 minus 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. Is 5 less than or equal to 9? Yes. H is negative 5. Plug it in. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Greater than negative 12. Is negative 20 greater than negative 12? No. Okay, last, number 3 is we are just going to graph the inequalities. So you can draw 3 number lines, and on all of them, go through and put a 0. You must have a 0 on your number line. Okay, and then look at the number and graph the number. Negative 1. Positive 2.5. Positive 9. I'm not asking you to draw out every number between. Just write the one number. Okay, and then you need to decide, is it an open or a closed circle? Okay. Here, is there a line underneath it? No, it matches this one, which means it's an open circle. Here, sorry, right here, matches this sign up here, so it's a closed circle. If there's a line underneath it, it's going to be a closed circle. And here, if you notice, there's no line, so it's an open circle. Now, what we need to do is to look at the number and plug something in for the variable. So let's say 0. Is 0 greater than -1? Yes, so it goes towards 0. Also, like I said, if you were to draw the arrow, it would point that way. On this one, if you were to draw the arrow, it would point that way. On this one, if you were to draw the arrow, it would point that way. But you can also say 0 is less than 2.5, so it goes towards 0. 0 is less than 9, so it goes towards 0. But I always use 0 because it's easy. And that's how you graph it. If you would like to do it on the line, like this, that's fine too. It's just a little hard to see with a pencil, and so I do it up just so you can see it. But that's really up to you. Technically, you could just go like that right on the line, as long as it's visible. Okay? If you notice, there is no pause and try on this, simply because your assignment, we're going to do a lot of reading and writing inequalities. That's what this focus is writing and graphing, and that's mostly what we're going to do. Sounds great?